Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing our series of projects with different batteries, and this time around we are working with this Ryobi battery packs with power tools 1 plus, that's 18 volt system, and we'll see what we can do with that, because one of the batteries what I have, battery packs, is not working. So this one is working, that's P105, and let me see what happens. Let me show what happens when I plug it into the charger. So power on, and well, right now it's charged, so solid green light, well, good. So now what happens when we do the same procedure with the P102, the smaller battery pack, plug this in, and the red light is blinking, and that means testing, and it will actually stay here, well, I think forever now. I believe that previously it would actually go into this floating wavy red blink. That means defective. Well, we'll see if we can do anything about that. So just to verify basically what we just saw here. So we don't need the charger anymore. So that's the working battery. And if we just measure it on the terminals, that actually goes straight up here, so like that. As you can see, 20.1 volts, so that's perfect for this system. So battery is fine, fully charged, no problems there. Now, this one, do the same procedure. That's negative, that's positive. And we are seeing exactly nothing. Basically quite similar to what we have seen before, even though, well, who knows, the issues could be similar or different. Alright, so what we're going to do about that is we're going to open this battery pack. We'll find some cylindrical cells, 18, I think 18850s probably. There's going to be 5 of them here, looking by the size of that. So the 18 volt system, that would be 5S, 5 series, and there's no space for more than that, so that would be 1P. Only 5 batteries connected in series there. So let's see if that's accurate. So in order to open that, there are 5 screws in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. And one of them is protected with something like a plastic cap. I'm not sure what the reason is. I'm sure it's some kind of anti-tampering indicator, in fact, because it's not really preventing you from doing anything. Well, I think it should have done just a sticker or something. So now we'll need to, yeah, let's see if we can show it. Yep. So the other ones just have the regular screws in there, and this one has a plug of sorts. Let's see if we can take it out. And here we go. So that's the plug. Really no reason for it to be there. So now we have all the screws accessible, and the screws here are also not quite the so let's see if we can see it. Right, so that's a security torque screw, and in this particular case the size is 10. Let's see. Yeah, T10H, that's already picked it up. All right, so let's unscrew the case. All right, wow, it's not even glued, nice. Okay, so that's the case. Well, the upper part of the shell is open. All right, there we go. Well, that was easy. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So these are some LG cells here, all right. We can look them up later. So nice spot welds here. Looks good. So let's see if we can measure anything on individual cells. Okay, 0.65, that's not amazing. Oh, okay. 0.60. Okay. 0.55. 0.56. 0.42. Okay. All right, so our batteries are deeply discharged. And, well, we can try to resuscitate them. It's kind of low. But, well, we'll see what we can do. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, that's okay too. We might be able to replace the individual cells here, but in this case, we'll probably need to replace all of them. And yeah, I mean, let's try to charge it first. And let me see how we can do that. All right, that did take a little bit of time to make this contraption. That's a monstrosity right here. Please don't do things like that at home unless you know what you're doing, or at least willing to risk the consequences. So again, that's more of a proof of concept. That's not for the real charging. So let me quickly explain what do we have here. So what I wanted to do is to actually attach this battery pack, what we have here, without disassembling it, to my balanced charger. And to do that, not only do I need to connect positive and negative of the pack, and that's these two, so that's the negative of the whole pack, which goes, if you see conveniently, and in this case it's green, goes to that terminal. So that's the negative terminal of the whole pack. I'm talking about the cells, not the output of the BMS itself, but the cells. So it's a negative of the pack, that's positive of the pack, and that goes to the positive of the charger. And that's basically, you see there's a thicker wires here, on at least on this side, and that's where the main charging is happening. But what the balanced chargers do, what the regular charging doesn't, is they actually try to balance the cells so that they stay at the same level, which is important for lithium batteries. Whereas you can have situations then there's the reverse flow of charge, overcharging, undercharging, things like that. Bad things for lithium. And the way it does, it actually discharges tiny amounts to make sure that it equalizes between different cells. What they call balanced connector. You can see here in this case, that's the charger takes up to 6S, so it means up to 6 cells in series. We have 5 here, so I have an adapter here. Actually, I don't need to really, but and the way balanced connector works in terms of the pinout, I have here the pigtail connector for 5S. Basically, there are 6 wires in the 5S connector, or the balanced connector, and the first and the last connect to the negative for the first one, and the positive of the whole pack. And then the rest, intermediate ones, connect to the points in between the batteries, in between the individual cells. So basically the voltage differential between the wires that are next to each other are basically identifying the actual individual cells. The first, well, you see, like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires, the pinout for the 5S balanced connector. So the first one connects to the black one to the negative of the whole pack, as well as to the negative of the first cell. The second one connects to the bridge between the first cell and the second cell. The third one connects to the bridge between this one, second and third, so on and so forth. This one, and then the last tail in the pigtail connects to the same positive of the whole pack, which is also positive of the last cell, and that's that. So with that connection, if you can call it connection, I mean, that's really sketchy here, but as you can see here, let's see if we can, yeah, I guess, yeah, you can see that, well, right now we have the individual cells have been measured, about 2.5 volts, and the whole pack is right now at about 12 volts. So as you can see, it's quite a bit higher than what I originally measured. And the reason for that is when I actually just connected it like that, the charger did not pick up a couple of cells because I think there's some kind of cutoff for the real low voltage, probably half the volt, I think, something like that, or close to that. No, definitely I saw 0.4, maybe 0.4. I'm not sure. But basically it was too low, and again, well, we've been doing a lot with the batteries that are too low. So what I tried to do is to actually, give them initial push, so basically bump them up, and that is just charging them. I mean, I could have done this on an individual basis, but I figured I could just do a few seconds of the relatively low current. I don't remember what it was, but put the full voltage of 20 volts across the terminals, just bump it up. I think it was 1 amp, and that was the result of that. So basically that immediately boosted the cells up to, well, quite a different levels. You can see it 2.5, 2.6, which is quite a bit different than what we saw before, which is nice. Still obviously very low, but now charger picks it up, and let's see if we can actually try to balance charge it for a little bit until the regular charger, the Ryobi charger, will be able to pick it up. Maybe it will pick it up already, but I don't want to assemble it now. So let's see. So what we're going to do is we do LiPo program and we do charge, and we'll ignore capacity for now. 5 cells, as you can see, maybe. So basically 18.5 volts, that's for 5 cells. I picked half an amp because again, like we want to go slow at these lower levels. Could be even lower than that. And they charge in more to slow balance, so we want to do balance. So let's see if that actually would work. Sure, want to run? Yes. And all right, so we are actually charging. So the charger picked it up. It's picking up, it's charging at, well, 0.008 amps right now. And the reason for that, it's doing a pre-charge. So again, I don't know how much will be visible, but pre-charge. So it picked up the cells. That's good. It figured out that the cells are too low for the regular charging. So what now it's trying to do is to actually doing pre-charge to the regular levels, which is I'm not sure what exactly considered to be regular here, but certainly about 3 volts, maybe 3.5, maybe even 3, whatever. At what time it will actually jump into the regular charging? I mean, the regular is still pretty low. As I said, I selected like half an amp. And we'll see how it goes. And it will try to keep them balanced. So right now delta V is 200 millivolts, so quite high, but it will try to balance it over time, and we'll see it will be successful. I think the cell number 1 might be off. Maybe that was a problematic cell. So yeah, let's see what we have here. And voltage 4.2. What else? So we're charging capacity and the cells, the voltage. Yeah, delta V is going down. And yeah, so I'll stop recording here and come back a little bit later when we get to some level, maybe finished pre-charging or something, where something is happening. All right, and I'm back. I actually forgot about the charging happening here for some time. So when I came back, look at what we see here. It's actually done, and the numbers look really good. So let's see if we can zoom a little bit. Right, so every cell is at about 4.15. Delta V zone is below 40 millivolts. The total pack charge is 20.1, 20.8, well. And these are the numbers of the fully charged pack. I mean, that's great. I mean, nothing, and as you can see, it's done, so it's not charging right now. So yeah, I mean, nothing is discharging, at least rapidly. Let's just quickly double check if we have voltage on the actual pack terminals coming from BMS. And let's see, I don't remember which one is which, but doesn't matter. Yeah, look, 20.3. So that's pretty much exactly what we got on the working battery. So that's great. I mean, that looks like mission success. Right, like in terms of the internal resistances look fine-ish. Capacity looks pretty much the same for all of them, which is what we want. We don't want some cells to be completely out of whack with respect to others. So yeah, delta C is 14 milliamp hours, so like nothing. But right now, okay, let's just disconnect before we jump to conclusions, and let's try to put it in the original charger and see if it detects any issues. Well, I mean, it's right now it seems to be fully charged, so I don't think it will be charging it, but at least if we see if we have a green light on the battery. So for that, let's disconnect all this. All right, so here's our battery pack. Let's just put it back. It's clamshell. Well, you know what? Let's do it like that. Don't need to put the back. All right, so here is our charger. And look at that. Well, I mean, not surprisingly, right now it reports full charge. And none of this testing are defective. So looks good. I mean, all right. And here's my Ryobi drill. So let's see if actually it powers it up. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, but just like that. Yeah, I checked the temperature of the pack while it was charging. No issues there. So looks good. We just put the rest of the shell back. All right, and let's put the screws back in. All right, done. Let's just double check. Yep, all good. We can even put the back this plastic cap. I think it was about here. All right. And again, let's just run the drill. Perfect. Looks like another battery is saved. I'll keep monitoring what's going on there, if we have any issues with charging, discharging, and things like that. But so far it's looking good, and hopefully it stays that way. So if you like this content, please hit the like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you liked something, if you didn't like something, if you find this useful or you managed to replicate this in your projects. And yeah, generally anything constructive, please hit this in the comments. And with that, I'll see you next time.